Just woke up and I was just thinking about some things. I've had a rough couple of days with meltdowns and such to do with social situations. And what I've been thinking is, well, for one thing, the way I try and learn the world is by studying it, studying every part of it, studying people, social interactions. However, for me, anything I've learned by studying a certain group or a certain person, it seems like it'll apply to that person. So, and I only keep that knowledge of how I've interacted and what I've learned for that person. And so, and this, a lot of times it falls through because what I think that I've learned from a short amount of time of interaction is not enough to quantify an entire relationship with another person and to know the entire understanding of how social interaction should go with that person. Now, my other thought was like people who are neurotypical that don't struggle with things like this, like I literally don't know how, I don't know how they understand social interactions or society as a whole. I mean, everybody struggles, but for the people that don't struggle too much or at all with social interactions, how do they know? How do they know? How have they learned? Or maybe not even learned. How have they just naturally flowed into social interactions in a way that they're not having to study people all the time and think about it all the time? And I know some neurotypical people may do some of the similar things, studying people, trying to learn um, social interactions, and there's many other conditions besides autism that people do those things. But what I'm more specifically thinking about is for the people who are neurotypical, who are the one of the lucky ones who are born without, let's say, any conditions or conditions that are very, very minor and that are not social or mental. People who are born without any mental defects, issues, diagnosis, illnesses, whatever you want to call them. And so then every social interaction for them is just easy. Maybe not easy, but they don't have to worry so much about it. What goes on in their mind is what I'm thinking. What they're walking into a party with, let's say they know a couple of people. They're walking into a party with this couple of people. Of course, they're probably going to walk in and go to those couple of people that they know first. But as the night goes on, these type of people can move throughout the crowd and easily converge into conversations and can interact and be so at ease with it and not have any awkwardness or anything like that. And it perplexes me because I'm like, what is literally going on in the mind of a person that can do that? Are they thinking are they thinking about what they're going to say before they say it? Are they just paying attention to the crowd? Are they not even thinking about interacting and they're just flowing into it? And then how do they know how to flow into conversations with people that they don't know? And that they can just easily move into that without, studying that person, because I can't. If I were in that same situation, I'd go to the couple of people I've known and I would stick with them mostly, unless we as a trio or however many, a duo, however many, moved together to other people where I would get introduced or whatever and say hi. And of course, I've memorized, over the years, some of the common, typical, first interaction stuff. That part's not too hard because that's easy to memorize. Just the first interactions. Oh, hi, nice to meet you. And then whatever the party is for, or whatever's going on, kind of generally talk about that. That part's okay. But once it goes beyond that, where they start talking about something that either I have no interest in or have no knowledge of, it gets very nerve-wracking inside my head. And people may never know because I'm still can be, for the most part, very good at masking and not showing the turmoil in my head on my face in these specific situations. And so I just basically, if there's anybody out there that would consider themselves neurotypical, actually anybody at all who has any thoughts on these things, that they want to comment on, any observations that they've had, any experiences that they've had, either autistic people or neurotypical people, and any of your thoughts on just basic social interactions and how you have learned over the years from child to adult or whatever to have those, and any struggles, any things you have observed from other people and how they react. And if you've studied people, and if you keep like a catalog in your brain of a specific person and you try to interact with them in that way because of the catalog you have up there about them, it's almost like a library in my head. Not that I have the greatest memory, but that's one thing I've been able to try to retain with each person. It has not worked out well because I don't keep friends for very long because things eventually fall through, because my plan of studying a person and learning them doesn't always work, typically doesn't work, and typically the things I've studied to think I know about them are not completely true for every situation. At least they're only true for that situation. So if I do the same thing or think the same thing or say the same thing about that particular person in another instance, it can just fall right through because that was not an all the time thing. Anyhow, I probably have completely confused a lot of people, but if you understand what I'm saying, I would really appreciate your input, your insights, your thoughts, and your comments on this. And I wasn't really planning on posting this. This was going to be like a morning journal, but now that I've said so much, I do want to know some feedback about this. So, as always, you guys, I appreciate your feedback. I'd love for you to comment and like the video, and of course, I'd love for you to subscribe and share my videos because I'm trying to get a bigger audience to therefore get more comments and get more interactions with people, get more support, even be able to support other people who are struggling with different things that I know I struggle with. And I mean, that was the whole purpose of my channel when I first created it, is to share my struggles and also be able to maybe help other people with similar struggles and share what I've done that has worked over the years. So, let me know what you think. Talk to you guys soon.